The trailer for Dune Part 3 dropped yesterday, and this movie looks so good, and I don't even care if it's premature to say this is probably going to be the greatest movie I've ever seen. For me, this is my most anticipated movie for 2026, and I know for a lot of people, it's the same for them as well. I just can't wait for it to be December already. So this movie is going to adapt Dune Messiah and pick up directly after the events of Dune Part 2, in which at the end of that film, Paul becomes the new emperor of the universe. Everyone else doesn't recognize Paul's rule as legitimate, and thus he leads the Fremen as they wage war across the entire universe. I can't believe how much of a stacked cast this movie has. Like, it's absolutely insane. We got Anya Taylor-Joy playing the sister of Paul Atreides, Aaliyah Atreides. We got Jason Momoa coming back as Duncan Idaho, and Jason Momoa's son is going to play Paul and Chani's son, Leto II. You guys know anything about the Dune novels, you know how Duncan Idaho comes back to life, and you also know how important of a character Leto II is to the Dune franchise. Actress Ida Brooke, who I'm not too familiar with, is going to play Ganima, Paul's daughter and twin sister to Leto II. And Robert Pattinson, who in the last decade has become one of the best actors of this generation, is going to play the main villain of Dune Part 3. I'm not too familiar with this character as I've only just started reading the Dune novels, but all I know is that he's a shapeshifter. If you guys watch Dune Prophecy, you'll know one of the Bene Gesserit had the ability to shapeshift also, so I'm going to assume it's going to look something like that. Just from looking at the trailer, you could tell how good the cinematography, the score, the action is going to be in this movie. I think it's going to be by far the best looking Dune movie. I've watched this trailer like 5 times already, and I get chills every single time because that chant that Paul does in the second half of the trailer, oh my god, that goes so hard. If you ever heard people say that Paul's not a hero, he's a villain, you'll understand why when you watch this movie. In both Part 1 and in Part 2, we saw glimpses of the future in which Paul is the leader of the Fremen and wages a war across the entire universe. This is that movie, guys. It is going to be absolutely brutal. And this movie is going to have time skips in it, and it might have multiple time skips because we already know that Paul's daughter and son are going to be in this movie. And again, if you know anything about the novels, you'll know that Paul's son is around for a very long time. And the time skips in this movie is probably going to be non-linear, so it might jump around from the present and the future. I just can't wait for this movie to come out. I can't wait for it to be December. This movie looks so good. The final part of the trilogy by Denis Villeneuve, it looks so good. And if Dune Part 3 is of the same quality or greater than Part 1 and Part 2, I could genuinely see this as being the greatest trilogy of all time. Let us know in the comments what you guys thought of this trailer and how excited you are for this movie.